Should we do a little garden tour, Roo? Are you going to make high-pitched, annoying noises throughout the whole thing and run away? You are, aren't you? I know what you're like.
Okay, sorry.
One take. We've got one take, one chance.
Take. Okay.
Hi folks, welcome back to the back garden. It's our lunch break. We've got some guests over tonight, so I can't visit the allotment and make a video. But it's focused on you again. The camera knows, doesn't it? It knows who the star is. But yeah, we thought we'd take 10 minutes and show you a quick tour of the garden. It's bloody windy. I wasn't expecting it. The thing I'm most excited about is we finally had some harvest, but Jess also has lots and lots of flower updates to give you too. So these videos normally take way longer than you think because I've only got one microphone. So today we're both going to be behind the camera and I'm going to be reminding Jess to talk at the microphone. Nowhere else, but let's start here where Jess has got a nice little flower patch just with lots of potted things. What's this red one? That's a new one, isn't it?
That is Alastramera.
Okay, you don't need to shout if you are next to the microphone. Okay. You just need to talk at it.
That wasn't a shout, that was just...
Okay.
That was a normal... That was
Do you say it's a lily?
Yes, Yes, it's an Alastramera lily. Which
I
know are poisonous to dogs and I will keep you away. Thank you in advance.
There's a few little ones over there. The catmint and stuff that we planted there's some lavender too, that hasn't quite established yet. Yeah. The honeyberry, pheasantberry, it's looking quite cool though. There you go.
She's off.
Yeah, she's going to be doing that a lot. We'll talk about the lawn, Look at this one. We sowed God knows how many little kind of wildflower seeds in various places throughout the garden, and I think that's just about the only one that's come up, isn't it? There's a couple over by the pond. We'll go and have a look at that point. What next? Oh my God, the begonia. You weren't sure about this, were you?
No, because when it first comes out, well, I'm still not sure about the leaves. They're not my faves, but the actual plant is very pretty. I did think it was more of like a tumbler. Maybe when it gets bigger, it'll fall over.
This is the thing that Jess is probably most excited about. How much was this, Jess? This was a little bit spendy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was £30, but also it's massive.
It is.
It's a rambling rose.
A David Austin rambling rose, not just any.
So. And it was just too pretty. So at the moment it's just propped up against the obelisk. That
is a bit rude. I did string it up, but we had a whole saga with this. You can see the mattock is still out because this is like a little Wilco obelisk, right? And it just didn't want to go in the ground, so I had to do a bit more digging and found out there's like an old bit of concrete from an old fence post, so we had to kind of knock that about a bit. But the obelisk is in now, but the rose does need a bit of kind of training and tying in and that kind of stuff. It's pretty. Is this Nemesia?
Yes, this is Nemesia, one of about 7 plants I think in the garden.
It's absolutely everywhere. The stocks this year, please commenters, why do the stalks look like this? The leaves, they look like they're in drought, but they're not, are they? You've been watering them, and all over the place they've looked like this. These look like seed pods to me, Jess, so you probably need to be cutting those off and trying to encourage more flowering. The raised bed is looking absolutely mad. Look at the hollyhocks, they are so tall. There's a couple of hanging baskets that are just completely consumed.
My poor sweet peas.
Oh, the sweet peas too, yeah. So this one we had a bit of an argument about, didn't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's some kind of flax, it's self-seeded, and it is always full of bees. You were always telling me like, oh, can we cut it down, can we cut it down? I said, no, you gotta leave it. And unfortunately, with this at the front, the hollyhocks either side, the sweet peas in here.
I have one, just the one. I mean, they're still really pretty, and I'll plant lots more next year, but...
It's a lot more than one plant in there, but it's only maybe one that's flowering.
Yeah. Nothing like last year, but it's fine.
You're not a big fan of the nasturtiums, are you?
No, and that might be my fault because I let them get quite leggy before I put them in the ground, but they're just not my favourites. Yeah, I'm not sure why. The flowers are fine, and I like the leaves more than the flowers, really. They're also absolutely covered in aphids.
Yeah.
And that's probably me being a bad plant person, that I can't be bothered to take them off because I don't care for them. Is that bad? Probably.
Well, it is what it is. The flowers don't last very long. It's quite a lot of work deadheading these, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did the last lot of deadheading, which means you know it's bad if I see it and go, I'm going to deadhead these. But this bit of the bed's looking quite nice.
This is Gypsophilia.
That has really gone quite nice.
And then I've got some antirrhinums. And something else. Oops, sorry.
It's okay, the battery's about to run out.
Oops.
Let me go and change the battery. I can't remember what we were looking at.
We were looking at over by the tomato and the little cute flowers.
So this is the one you rescued, isn't it?
No, that's
that's the one you rescued. Okay, we'll show that. This one this is one of the romas that I just stuck in the raised bed without Jess's permission. Just a little bit sneaky.
Well, you did it last year and it went really well.
Yeah, exactly. And then later on in the season, there was one just left in a pot, and Jess couldn't bear to see it die.
It looks so sad.
Yeah, it's looking a bit crispy, isn't it? It does have a couple of little toms on there.
Yeah? 3 or 4?
We just stuck this one in a bucket. I think I gave it a really good water yesterday. I think it just needed some water.
Okay.
But the other thing in here, look at this sunflower. Jess informs me this is a red one.
It might have a fancy name, but it's a red sunflower.
Unsure of the variety. Just look at the amount of flowers on the hollyhocks. It's mad.
They've still got so many more to come out as well. I'm very excited.
Do you think?
Yeah, look,
they seem to be
leaves.
flowering for quite a long time. Go up and up. They are quite cool though.
Yeah.
But my God, they're big and
heavily diseased. But in my defence, I don't know why, and I have been cutting off. There was like loads and loads of leaves right at the bottom that were all diseased, so I scalped them because it told me to online. But if I got rid of every single diseased leaf, they'd just be bald. So they're biannual, so they're gonna croak at the end of the season anyway. So I'm just leaving them.
yeah, there was a bit of a dramatic moment when you realised that biennials, they take 2 years to get to this stage, and then after this, they're done. You got to start again.
Yeah, that was sad.
So maybe no more hollyhocks.
I'll do one more, I think, but I'll grow it in a pot next year.
One not such a great success story. The strawberries in hanging baskets. We thought this was such a good idea, but it's just been food for the squirrels, really.
Yeah, absolutely every single time.
So that's not great. There's a few bits that we forgot to show you. There's another hanging basket with some produce, which is looking, maybe a little bit more successful. And Jess wanted me to make a point of showing you down here.
These 2 little ones, this one and this one, are oxeye daisies, and I'm very excited. Grew those myself.
The objective is hopefully to get the oxeye daisies going out, flowering, and then coming out into the lawn and establishing. We're going to maybe talk about, we probably haven't got enough time to talk about garden plans properly, have we? But let's look at this little tumbling tomato that we just stuck in a planter. There was in here, what was it, Jess?
It was a fuchsia, like a hanging basket fuchsia that died the second I put it in. So.
Yeah, just really looked really sad. So chalk that one up to experience. But so long as we keep this one watered, cough, cough.
I just watered it. Cough,
I know
cough.
you just watered it because we were about to start filming.
Yeah.
But we might get some from this, which is very
There's
cute.
loads on there. Look at them.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Well, hey. Back up this end. Some of the peonies and stuff kind of looking a bit, I don't know, they're okay, aren't they? Are you happy with them?
Yeah, I think they're fine. There's one, the smallest one, I only planted about 2 months ago, so that's fine. And the bigger one, I planted in January, but I'm not expecting any flowers for like 2 or 3 years, so I think they're fine at that size.
That's cute. The tomatoes in the quad grow. This is really why I wanted to film. These are looking fantastic. Maybe not my best decision putting 2 bush varieties in here. A bit of a whoops. We've got a bush variety on the right there and a bush variety on the left here. They're both romas, I think, maybe Tachi. And then in the middle we've got 2 of the honeycombs, and you can see I've just strung them up. A little bit sketchy. Just one is literally the line is stapled to the fence, so it's not great because it's going to be pushed up there, but they are growing really well. Just have to remember to come out and water them. And look down here, there's quite a few trusses are starting to set. These are well ahead of the ones in the greenhouse on the allotment. And actually, I think I found the same thing last year, actually. One of the best tomatoes I grew was one of the cherry varieties that we just stuck in the raised bed. They do grow really well in the back garden on this kind of south-facing fence line. But the main event, look, finally, I've grown some garlic, folks. The first time ever I've got a pretty decent garlic harvest. I don't think there's really any prize winners in here, although that one is a really good size. I have never been able to grow these because of the white rot on the allotment plot, and so what I did this year, once again, without Jess's permission, I snuck this one in. I just filled up some troughs with random bits of compost that we had, and as well, these are supermarket garlic. So I just had one supermarket garlic bulb. I found it in the kitchen and thought, right, let's have a little experiment, stick them in some troughs, and some of them pretty small. This was kind of September, October, so they've had the really cold winter. I just pulled these yesterday. I should have done it on film, but I really wasn't expecting such good results. We had some nice scapes off here as well that were just amazing in a potato salad with the barbecue, wasn't it?
Yes.
Just across from the garlic. Jess is very pleased with this one.
I do think this is literally called a 30th rose.
A 30th?
Yeah. Well, that's what it came as. My friend bought it for me for my birthday.
Was it your 30th birthday?
It was my 30th birthday, yes.
This has been really good though. It's been flowering for a while. Some
Yes.
really nice. We've got it in the pot so we can kind of control it. It is, I mean, that is a pot and a half though, isn't it?
It is a pot and a half.
But looking really nice. Red currants have had a pretty good showing. Again, we just leave these for the blackbirds, and the blackbirds love it. A few of the sparrows too. The honeysuckle. Ooh, this is exciting. Just starting to get some flowering tips on here. First time. Really, really happy with that.
I'm really happy with how the jasmine is doing. It didn't flower last year, but it's flowering this year, and it's really, really pretty, and it smells divine.
Did you get it last year?
Yes.
Oh.
I think I got it just after it finished flowering. So.
I think it stayed in a pot for quite a long time before
really
we found
did.
this for it, didn't we? Jess has just nearly fallen into a wheelbarrow full of
I thought it was a
disgusting
dog.
green water. Oh, amazing. The lawn is looking absolutely horrible. This is one of the things about the kind of no-mow meadow creation, any of that kind of thing, when you get really tall grass and then you eventually cut it down, it looks pretty grim. Jess was... I had to wait until the hay fever had gone before I could really get in here. That's been kind of mown. It will come back, and this has just been trimmed very lightly. I'm leaving all the seed heads to do their thing for a little while, and then we'll kind of come in and mow it back properly. Jess hasn't been too happy with the no-mow, and it is her garden too, so we're kind of continuing to work on a compromise. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, we do have lots of plans for what we might do with the lawn in time. We've got over here, oh, I mean, look at the salvia. This is one of your favourites too, isn't it?
It is one of my favourites, yeah.
It is always full of bees. Oh no, look at your hydrangea.
What? It was fine like 2 days ago.
Oh dear.
Oh.
That is looking
Lovely.
quite sad, isn't it?
It'll be fine. I'll water it really, really well and cut off the curled leaves and it'll be fine.
Oh God, no, the clematis that we planted too. That's looking all crispy and sad. What's this? I think that's just, I think maybe one of the branches has snapped, which is a bit of a shame, but the growth lower down looks okay. We put in a clematis here and one on the other side as well. How's that one looking, Jess? Because the passion flower, I think we meant to talk about this in the last video and we didn't, but the passion flower basically just got completely hit by our super cold winter. So the trellis is looking a bit bereft, but this evening...
It's growing now.
Yeah, it is starting to regrow, isn't it? We much prefer clematis over the passion flower though. But all of this evening primrose has just popped up out of nowhere. I forgot that this was in here. Must have self-seeded from last year.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I'm not sure, because they always look a little droopy during the day, I'm not sure which bits to cut off and which bits to not, but I'm pretty sure the ones at the bottom I should be deadheading.
Yeah, I think just a bit of deadheading. And this border continues to be something on the to-do list, really. The foxgloves had an amazing showing though, but turns out they're really quick.
Yeah, so quick. And they like die off as they grow. It's very, very upsetting. But I did plant like 6 or 7 more for next year.
Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, all of these are, oh yeah, of course. We can show these. These are all the little seedlings that you've planted out. Looking really good. The bugle, just about surviving over there, that dark leaf. Where's the primrose? Oh dear.
No, I don't know.
Look at this, trying to get this primrose established and seeding. Oh, it's hidden in there somewhere. So yeah, this border is the work in progress. But there are lots of things that are coming up that are quite leafy.
Leafy?
leafy and nice and full of bees. This one's gorgeous. Not actually sure what this is. Maybe some kind of red dead nettle in the
Sounds my
nettle
favourite.
family.
The little orange one.
Oh, Jess really likes the Scarlet Pimpernel. I like that one too. A good name too, Scarlet Pimpernel. And the pond is just looking extravagant. Look at the purple loosestrife. This was actually gifted to me by my mum and I sent her a picture and she was so jealous. She said it never grew this well in her garden, and that's just always the way, isn't it? The damselflies are out. Look, there's one just landing on the marsh marigold. Oh, so gorgeous. And there's a few little wildflowers that have established in here too. So that's quite nice. We're hoping to have a bit of a kind of a small wild area around the pond, aren't we? And it's full of tadpoles that are hopefully gonna start to do their thing. And we've got a little frog house. We're gonna make a little thing naturally as well with some logs. And I can't wait to see this area develop. Blue! There's a blue one! It's the first time I've seen a blue one.
Oh, it'll come back.
Oh, did it go? I lost it. We waited for the blue one for a little while, but it didn't come back. You'd seen the blue one already, though.
I've seen the blue one
Very
already.
jealous. But there we go. That's our little lunch break garden tour. Thank you ever so much for joining us, and an extra special thank you to my Chili Pepper tier patrons. Would you like to do the names? Do you know them?
No, I don't know.
Tony, Bill, Pam, Louise, Michael, Mel, Denise, Socks in the Garden, Craig. Yeah, I'm getting so good at that. Thanks everyone. Hopefully
Thank you.
see you again in the next one.